Greetings, Scramblers, the world over, and what a pleasure it is to be with you on this beautiful Friday. Let's be honest, most of us will fall well short of building business empires. It won't be because of a shortage of good ideas or high levels of motivation. More likely, it'll be a breakdown at some point in our own discipline, a weakening of our mental toughness. In order to rise to that single-digit percentage of empire success, we have to train ourselves to be mentally strong and consistent when we don't feel like pushing through the really hard days, weeks, and months. What you don't want to do becomes what you have to do. Keeping your mental game sharp and fluid is the sauce. But again, it's not for everyone. We're putting the spotlight today on an agent that knows and practices what it takes to maintain levels of high mental discipline. We're excited to dig in with Kimiko Donahue today and learn where she draws her strength for mental domination and how she fights the toughest of days. Let's get on with the show.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Woo! Now that's a way to start a Friday show. We're going to talk about mental domination. Domination.
Are you dominating your mental game? I tell you what,
depends on who you ask.
That's right. Ask your wife, and she's gonna be like, "Yeah, I'm kind of running the show mentally and physically." Anyhow, welcome everybody to the Insurance Scramble Live. I am Joe Hollier. He is Alex DePazzo, and we are so honored to have you here today on the show. Welcome live. You know what? I was thinking I need to come up with a name for my scene here, my little box. I don't know, if live from the carton or live from the nest. I don't know.
Well, we can go. We can go all sci-fi and say the high desert, or we could say the low bayou.
The low bayou, the sunken bayou.
There you go.
All the mystical things of the world evolve. I will. I tell you what. I don't know if you're excited about today's show. I am really excited because I struggle with this. I don't know if you struggle with this. I struggle with continuing to be mentally strong when things get hard, and I've gotten better over the years. I figured out ways to push through a lot of things, and knowing fully that the lesson is don't get beat down by the failure, but just keep pushing forward and stay with it, and things work out. But mental strength is tough.
Oh no, it's key. It's pivotal. I mean, it's funny. One of the moments that it just came to mind when you were talking about it, Joe, was I like the movie Captain Marvel, but one of the moments throughout the whole movie, she keeps showing her falling down as a kid, as a teenager, as a young lady, as in training camp. But then the pivotal moment is when she realizes it wasn't how many times she'd been thrown to the ground; it's how many times that she got up. And that's something I was proud to point out to my daughter when we were watching that particular movie, because it's about having the mindset to realize that regardless of the obstacle, we can overcome it. And we've got everything we need to do so. And so I'm with you, man. I tend to concentrate on the on falling down and not getting up. But that's you're right there.
I'm fine. My connection is cutting in and out, man. Are you there? Okay.
I'm good. I don't know if it's the internet in the low bayou. Maybe the bayou didn't like it when I called it low. All right. It seems like we're going to have a little bit of Joe, a little bit of not Joe today, and that's going to be okay. The real tough part about the question is Joe's the one who keeps the questions in hand. So I think what I'm going to do now is, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring on Kimmy and see if we give Joe an opportunity to come back. Kimiko Donahue.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. I think with Joe, if anyone is a Star Wars nerd, I was going to say he's got the high ground, possibly, maybe.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Apparently you don't, because your internet's not liking us today or something.
Do you guys see me?
Yes.
We can, sir. We can't see you.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on today. Maybe it's the weather out here or something. But
yep.
There he goes again. It's all good.
Joe, email us the questions.
Well, we don't really
Well,
have
that's
to.
okay. I
The
can
fun
roll with
part.
something a little bit. Like, so one of the things that I heard him say is the fact that he always struggles with something. And when you say that, you're going to continue to struggle with it because now that's in your mental self-image about, oh, I'm always bad at this. So you're just going to continue on with that. So
Well,
I'll
absolutely.
call him out
And I
when he
know,
gets on.
and I know what the mindset was. The reason why we wanted to have you on. Now, just to be sure, and I don't want to say it wrong, and forgive me, but is it Kimmy or Kamiko?
Well,
I know it
go
might
by
be
Kimmy.
both.
Yeah. So I was named Kimiko. My mom's from Japan, so they gave me a Japanese name, but I typically go by Kimmy because it's easier. And of course, it's spelled weird, so no one spells it right.
That's okay.
That's all
That's
right.
okay. I have the same. I think we might have gotten him back on. I'm not sure. Let's see. Nah, he seems like he's still stuck there. But I definitely know that one of the questions was that, one of the really interesting things about insurance is that when you open an insurance agency, you are the least prepared person in the world to open an insurance agency under normal circumstances.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so we go into it trying to figure out, hey, we have this idea, we can do this thing, and then all of a sudden we have a business to run, and we're like, what are we? What's the right thing? What's the wrong thing?
Mm-hmm.
Is it still? Let me try.
Yeah, especially in the beginning, because let's say you're someone that came from the captive world into independent. Now there's a huge learning curve of learning all the different carriers and the different software, and at a captive agency, their software does everything it's supposed to, and it's usually in one area. With independent agency, I don't know anyone that doesn't have more than several screens, at a time. I've got, my screens here. You have to be able to navigate everything at the same time.
Absolutely. And the mental fortitude it takes to be told no that many different times. Like you indicated, maybe in the captive world, you actually got already told yes by the carrier before the office even opened.
Yes.
Where in the independent world, we opened the office and now are selling ourselves both to our customers and to the carrier, and what it takes to take that level of rejection on a sometimes daily basis.
Exactly. Yeah. Just have a really good business plan.
Absolutely. And I think that's where Joe, are you there, Joe? Or
we're gonna start over, okay?
All right.
It's only live, so we'll just start right over, right? So what's the big deal?
Why not?
What's the big deal?
Unpause.
Congratulations, Kimmy. You are my first internet breakdown of the last 2 years.
Great.
So you're breaking the internet already. So congratulations.
All right.
First and foremost, let me go back to where I wanted to start, because first, I'm very happy to have you back here. You actually were on the Insurance Scramble without me before, where you and Erin Nutting kind of co-hosted and guest hosted the program, but it's great to have you in person and share this time with you. So welcome back.
Thank you.
I was telling Alex a little bit ago, Arizona is the one state I never know what time it is. And I don't know what it is with the daylight savings time there. Sometimes people are 2 hours behind us. Sometimes they're an hour behind us.
Yep. So it's because Arizona has no time for that. We don't do the daylight savings thing.
It's a great shirt. Arizona ain't got time for that. So I'm gonna jump right into it because we're already way behind schedule here. But I've noticed, and I've been following you for a while, but I've noticed an incredibly impressive theme with your social media post. You always seem to be overcoming or conquering these difficult challenges, whether it's powerlifting, climbing a mountain, becoming a master shooting assassin, or just hiring a badass insurance team. Can you help us understand or share with us where this relentless will to win comes from?
Oh gosh, I guess it's been something in me my whole life. It's more the refuse to fail rather than love to win type mentality. So it's one of those, you get a goal and you're going to do everything you can to achieve it. And I like to keep life interesting because, you guys know the insurance industry. Yeah, it's interesting, but it's definitely not an adrenaline rush for sure in this industry.
Have you always been?
It's probably a bad thing.
When I was like in my late teens, like early 20s, I was an adrenaline junkie. Like I loved doing things that just pushed my comfort level all the time, from skydiving to just bungee jumping. And but I've gotten older and a little bit more scared as I got older. But have you always been an adrenaline junkie?
No, I don't think so. I was gosh, what did I do when I was younger? I was a softball pitcher. I was a layout editor for my high school newspaper, and I liked to draw anime and had blue hair. So I definitely wasn't. I wasn't athletic. I'm still not athletic by any means. I tell people I'm the most uncoordinated, coordinated person you'll meet. I tripped down the stairs, and I actually hurt my foot a couple weeks ago, and it's still healing. I tipped over on a dirt bike, and it fell on me.
Yeah, I'm coordinated. I don't think I belong on this phone call. I should really just get off because I don't bungee jump, I don't skydive, I don't dirt bike, I don't
skydive either. I don't like heights. I'll go really fast this way, but not this way.
I don't mind heights. I just don't want to fall from them.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'd actually skydive. That's something that's funny. Oof. My wife just will not allow it. But once my daughter,
you got to do it before you have a family because you're going to get a lot of flack trying to do it when you get older. I want to welcome everybody to the show. I'm sorry for all the technical difficulties. Ed Halsey did mention that this area should be called the frying pan, which seems like a no-brainer. So thank you for that, Ed. Kimmy, if I asked you if you wanted to build an empire, what would you say?
Just a badass team full of great people that love each other. We're like a giant dysfunctional family.
So to me, building an empire is just like expanding your scope of your influence or your power, wielding your power to much greater masses of people. What does it mean to you? Like what are your goals and what you started? Because, I remember watching you start your agency. I think it was in the last couple of years, if I'm not wrong. But now you've got a team of at least 8 to 10 people, maybe? Yeah, I
think we're sitting at 10 right now.
So what's your future empire vision look like?
It's one of those, I want to build it as big as we can, but with the right people. I think culture is extremely important to us. We want, people that get along, and I keep using the word family just because everybody here is so close and gets along just like that, and as far as influence, it just help as many people as we possibly can. And I think that's one of my personal goals is, help people either through insurance or through positive affirmations or helping them get into something that maybe they keep talking about they want to do. And then I tell them, just go do
it. Easy enough.
It's been a theme this week too. There's been a couple people with some really great ideas, and I'm sitting there looking at them like, well, let's just go do it, make a name on it, or, go buy the equipment. Like, we got a couple people that want to do podcasts, and I was like, just go on Amazon. There's some cheap stuff. It doesn't have to be professional material yet. I mean, look at me. I've got my headset still, and you guys have probably fancy ass podcasts.
All you need for a podcast is Anchor FM. Just get on the app and you can record right into your phone. And it's awesome. It's the startups are easy, and get people on there. I'm a big person of I'm guilty of always over planning. You know what? Just get in and start doing it, because if the more you talk it out, the longer it's going to take, and it'll never happen because it'll never be perfect in your head. But it kind of leads.
That's my secret, though, Joe. Is I'm the opposite.
Are you?
Yes.
You overanalyze?
No, I don't overthink it. I just go.
You just go. Okay, yeah. No, that's exactly. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm just a little bit. I'm still trying to
coming down from the high ground.
It's to bring in a former guest. It's Ryan Hanley's done is better than perfect, right? And the realization that no matter what, unless we are extremely fortunate, we're going to get it wrong before we get it right. And so why don't we just start getting the wrong part out as quickly as possible?
Exactly. Yep. Fail faster than anybody.
Yeah. And getting to that point.
What's Hanley? Yeah, Hanley's statement or motto is always like just press publish, just get it out there in the world and go with it.
Sounds better than
I love it.
So Kimmy, with high levels of success, we know the more we push in our lives to just get better, it requires more than just passion. It requires more than just great ideas and ambition. Mm-hmm. What you have to have, and what it's a skill set that not a lot of folks have, is you have to have the fortitude and the mental toughness to push through things when they get painful. And there's 1,000 reasons to quit. There's always tons of reasons to stop doing something. You can always convince yourself of that. Would you share with us kind of where you draw your mental toughness from? Like, in what ways do you keep your head mentally sharp and maintain kind of your no quit mindset?
Yeah, I think it goes back to the refusal to fail. When I started this agency, I downsized everything. I cashed out an old 401k and sold a house, my favorite vehicle at the time, and just went into it knowing that the first few years are going to suck with that mentality of it, and there's going to be probably weeks on end that you do want to quit because you're, especially the first year when you have absolutely no renewals or anything like that. You look at your statements and you're like, oh, why am I doing this? And I'm typically an impatient person when it comes to myself, very patient with others, but it definitely, the first 2 years was just, knowing what's coming later.
Mm. I mean, speaking of adrenaline rushes, you said you sold your 401k.
Yeah.
You sold your house. You sold a car you liked.
I did.
I mean, if that doesn't motivate you to have, to never say die, I mean, you're all in. All your chips are in at that point.
They were all in.
How did that feel? Like, what was your day to day like? I mean, did you wake up many days thinking, what the hell have I just done?
Oh yeah. And I would actually call other agents. Actually, Erin Nutting, who interviewed me on this show last time, called her and, took her advice on running a lean agency and working from home, for at least the first year and a half. And, she would also pep talk me and tell me, hey, month 25 is coming soon.
Sooner than you know it, right?
Yeah. And it did. It did.
So I want to kind of just keep circling this in just a few more minutes, but the mental game, the mental focus it takes.
Mm-hmm.
You have some very unique, most would say extraordinary hobbies or passions where you're a national shooting competitor. Correct me if I'm saying anything wrong here. You race motorcycles, you power lift. You seem to be doing lots of different things that really, I think, require a lot of attention. But have strong discipline aspects. Does that translate over to kind of who you are in business? Like, does that help you train? Is that good practice for mental strength?
I think so. Absolutely. I think one thing, because it takes so much focus, it takes you away from the business for a little bit too. So you can get a fresh start when you go back to work. Just because I'm typically a pretty intense person in anything that I do. So when I'm, working until 2 a.m. in the morning, it's nice to have something else to go to and go focus on that for a little bit. But as far as mental toughness goes, since that's the theme of the show, I bring up this book a lot. It's by Lanny Basham. He's an Olympic rifle shooter. It's called With Winning in Mind. And it's about, he basically talks about his whole mental management program and how he won, his gold medal and things like that. And his big thing is talking about self-image and seeing yourself doing whatever that goal is, or changing the way you view yourself and doing something. Because like one of the things, Joe, before you froze and took off on us, you actually mentioned that you always struggle with something, and I believe it was mental toughness is what you said. And that in itself, by saying that out loud and now reaffirming that you always struggle with that, you're going to continue to struggle with that until you change your verbiage around that.
Ooh.
Well,
Nice.
so now, Joe, we have to start.
We have to change that.
Weekly calls with Kimmy to talk about our, what was it? Mental preparation. Wait, no. Was it mental?
Positive affirmations is what it's going to come down to.
But he had a program. It was a mental management program.
Yes. Uh-huh.
I don't have a mental management program. Joe, do you have a mental management program?
No, I don't. But here's the thing, too, guys. I recognized it like fall of last year. When I'm sitting around COVID trying to work on myself and get better at what I do, I realized that mental toughness is something I struggle with. So I started doing different things, and they're little things, like drinking a gallon of water a day, exercising twice, 45 minutes a day. They seem like they're very doable in the beginning, but if you say, okay, I'm going to do this for 3 months straight, after a while, I start to find reasons why I shouldn't go do this today. Maybe I just get through a half gallon of water today. Even though they're small, it's really good practice for anything else in life that no matter what, I'm committed to doing this. I'm committing to getting through this, regardless if I feel like it or not. And I think that's been the biggest struggle is working through things when you come against a lot of odds and you don't want to do it. When you just say, no, I don't feel like doing it. I don't want to go exercise because it's raining today outside. That's BS. Get outside and do it, right? It's, you're committed. If you're really committed to it, like you say you are, then get outside and do it.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like the Nike slogan, that just do it. When you're writing your goals down, though, are you attaching a why to it?
Oh, sure. Yeah. I know
That
my
way,
why.
when you
I
don't,
know
yeah,
my
when you
why.
don't feel
I
like
just,
it, you go, well, why am I doing this? Why am I even here? And it
Mhm.
goes back to that.
And that's, that's kind of where, where we started today, which is that's the mentality it takes. That's the mindset it takes to get to the next level. And they say so many people give up or quit right before they reach the level they wanted to get to. And, whether it's burnout or just not being convinced that you're going to get there is just, a battle you create for yourself. And
Well, at the end, I think that's why I gravitated toward, and thank you, Kimmy, for repeating it, mental management program, because this is a conversation. I've got 2 young kids, and they're starting to get a little bit older, and I know I struggled with that quite a bit as a teenager personally. It was just beating myself down all the time until one day I stopped, and there are different reasons why that ended up occurring in my life. But one of the things I'm trying to teach them is that very same idea. It's like, if you think you're going to fail, you're going to fail. And it has nothing to do with your ability, which is the weirdest, complicated part, right? So the question is when you mentioned having a good business plan, the reason we have a good business plan is because we can take our ability to accomplish it off the table. That is no longer something we have to think about. That's gone. Now we just got to talk about execute until you get to that point of success. Mm-hmm. And I think that I'm going to take away quite a bit from that. And maybe my daughter will take a little bit from that mental management program. We're going to start at our own household.
Awesome. Yeah. And it's something as simple as starting with positive affirmations, because think about once you learn this, now you're going to hear it when people say it. And it sounds like they're talking down to themselves, like, oh man, I'm always late, or oh man, I always, get tickets on the road because I drive too fast, or something like that. But that's because that's what your self-image tells you. So you're going to continue to do that until you change it. And changing it through the positive affirmations is what Lanny teaches us in his book. It's super cool. So it's just learning to reword that and be true to it too.
Mm-hmm. Couldn't agree with you more. Great point. Well, I want to talk music. You love music.
I love music.
You sing beautifully.
Well, thank you.
I sing awfully and painfully. My guilty.
I don't sing at all.
Listen, you don't sing at all.
He sings in the shower.
You sing in the shower. Acoustics are the best in the shower. My guilty pleasure is I like when I'm having a challenging day, I crank up my headphones, a little bit of metal music. Makes me feel invincible. Keeps me more focused. I call it my mental health. But to get us in the mood.
Oh, I love that.
That's for you. That's for you, friend. To get us in the mood, Kimmy, let's do a little sound check with our momentary lapse of conformity. Alex?
Ooh.
Mr. Chris
like
Klein.
Metallica. Is that Metallica?
It was. Do you know Chris Klein of Westfield Insurance?
No, but I love that.
He started going on a while back. He started posting guitar riffs. He just loves to play, and I was like, dude, we need to steal some of this and just throw it in our show, just as little segment breaks, because it's perfect. And
sounded like, was it Seek and Destroy?
Mm-hmm.
Kill 'Em All.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
Bingo, ding ding, we got a prize.
Do I win?
Hey, so tell us. I'm fascinated by the fact that you and your office folks have started a band. But what role does music play in your life and all your daily activities, or just your off time having fun with your pals at work?
Music is super important to the team. We haven't started a band yet, but it's fun because we're finding out just how musically talented so many of everyone here is. Jesse on our team is actually a country singer. And he brings his guitar and he'll just serenade us throughout the day, and it's super calming. And similar to you, Joe, if there's when we're getting ready to do our daily role plays or start getting on the phones, we'll play metal, and we have a decent sound system in here too. And so our music tastes here, go from trying trying to think of a country singer now. Oh no, Luke Combs.
Luke Combs,
God, like
Chris Stapleton.
Yeah, Chris Stapleton to Kill Switch Engage. So it can go anywhere over here.
That's a lot of variety. That goes deep. That goes deep in both directions.
This is how deep it is. We've gone from worship music to Devil Driver. It's all across the board.
You really need to put more of this on video because it's.
I'm thinking that we should just, Joe, quit our day jobs, go over there with a camera, and it's not going to take very long, but between the immediate serenades in the middle of the day, following her on her ride through beautiful Arizona, over to the range where we could just have a blast. Well, she'll be the one blasting things.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I did quit my day job, which was in music, to do insurance. So you can imagine the drop off there. That it's fascinating and it's cool, man. Music does things for you. It puts your mind in a different place, and it's cool that you do that. It's cool that you have an office where they can share that, because I would imagine that's just going to continue to build relationships. And as your empire gets bigger and bigger, we're going to reflect on all these little cool things that you do that are unique. And I know Alex doesn't have music in his office, but I guarantee you one day I will. It'll be a big part of what we do.
I think it's great. It's a universal language too. I mean, you don't even have to be speaking the language, and people feel it. It doesn't even have to have words. There's a lot of instrumental stuff we'll throw on, or like some Joe Satriani or something in the background. Doesn't need words.
No, it doesn't. My wife always gives me funny looks when I have my headphones in, and she'll hear just the driving, dirge of metal, and she'll look at me like, how old are you? And I'm like, it's just me. It's just what's inside, and it's scary. And if you ever caught me in my car by myself, you would be amazed at how loud the music's playing and how nasty it is. But it's something about it.
Can you do the death metal scream?
No, I cannot.
I can't either. I've tried, and it sounds horrible.
Can you? Yeah. It's gonna
maybe one day I'll learn. There's some ladies that can do it, and I haven't figured out the secret yet.
I think I'm just going to come off. I really don't. I don't even. This isn't.
I think Alex can do the death metal
screaming.
Give us a little bit of.
Chris is watching.
Oh,
Kimmy, you're his hero.
Yay! Well, I loved your seek and destroy riffs.
Oh man, I tell you, what was it? There was a clip of you, Kimmy, where you were singing. Oh man, I can't remember what it was.
Recent or old?
It was. I think it was pretty recent.
If it was recent. It was Metallica's "Nothing Else Matters."
It was something else.
If it was old,
another metal song, but it was you're. Maybe it wasn't metal. Maybe it was just rock. But it was great. It was a great dichotomy, because your voice is so soft and sweet, and it was like a real strong, like just heavy song. But I don't know. You add a different component to it.
That was one of the funny things. Joe and I, obviously try to plan these talks as best as we possibly can. And one of the things we were talking about is that as I was watching your Instagram feed, I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope I don't run into Kimmy in a dark alley somewhere. Just there's one tough young lady, and he's like, wait till you talk to her. She's the sweetest, soft-spoken person.
Yeah.
Thank you.
keep everybody guessing, right?
There you go.
What's that?
I said, there you go. Maybe it's my alter ego that comes out, and actually, that's part of the mental management stuff when I'm talking to people. Like, we've actually got a guy. Well, I'm going to call him out because he's actually like literally next door to me right now. Jesse, when he first started with us, struggled on the phones. Today, it's a much different story. But one of the things I asked him, I'm like, you're a musical performer. It's the same thing on the phones. You're performing. So see yourself on stage when you get on the phone. And I'll tell you what, it's like night and day difference. And he's doing role plays and like handling objections. And it's super cool to watch.
How does your folks see you? What's their view of Kimmy?
I like to feed people. I'm like constantly buying groceries for the office because I want to make sure they're stocked full of snacks. To the point where I've been yelled at by my accountant saying, Kimmy, how much are you spending on groceries? I don't know. Guys like Red Bull and chips over here. So
yeah.
I don't know. I would assume
let me shed a little more light on that. The reason I asked that is if somebody didn't know you well, let's say you have a new hire, and I'm sure they do their research on you, just like you do your research on them. You could potentially come across a little intimidating. I mean, you literally carry firearms and you shoot them well. And trust me, if there's a zombie apocalypse, I'm coming to Tucson because I want to be on your team.
Got it.
It could be a little intimidating. So how does that carry over, I guess? Because there's a lot of dynamics there with being a powerful woman, with being someone who does a lot of strong-minded activities. How does that translate to your staff?
Leadership style is definitely different than that. I'm not aggressive. I think I'm definitely I'm the lover, not the fighter. But I do all that other stuff, in my hobbies and whatnot. But definitely, our underlying core value is definitely love. And I just make sure we love on our people and they're happy, and that's what makes it tick,
And I'm sure that comes through with the role play and the music involved in it too, because that's a different thing. That's a different opportunity just to connect. And if it's done in the right way, which it sounds like it is, everybody's on the same page on how to communicate. And that's whether it's through a song or through role play on a phone. So that's neat. And I can see the foundation you've created is not just unique, but it's going to be powerfully adaptive, I think, in a lot of ways. And you're already in 9 or 10 states. So I'm sure we're just going to continue to see you grow and start dominating the insurance landscape. And it'll be everything insurance everywhere. So congratulations to all your hard work paying off.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. I think I've been talking a lot. Alex, did you want to lead Kimmy off with any final thoughts?
Well, I think she's as awesome as I thought she was going to be, which is really, really great. And I love the fact that everything around her answer, I thought, was perfect. And I think it shows your genuineness. So if anything starts with the right foundation, it's so easy to grow off of that. And I was just mentioning to someone today about the industry. That's something that gets lost a lot. Insurance is what we do. It's not who we are. But something about who we are that we all bring to the industry is that empathy and compassion to want to help people when they're in a difficult situation. That's the only thing that attracted us to this industry, because it definitely wasn't processing paperwork and sending emails. Especially
getting underwriting memos.
Especially with the 66% of the screen over here. You guys are strong in on the outside versus, not just what you do in the industry. And so I love to see, I think that's part of what your success is. And I'm hoping others can take that from too, that strong foundation and not necessarily willingness to win, but refusal to fail can really lead to success. And in the industry, it can lead to huge amounts of profit. Which is, I think, the best kept secret about the insurance industry.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
You'll definitely rise to the top, as you are. So, Kimmy, we can't thank you enough. Thank you for being so patient with our technical difficulties. And it's wonderful to share some time with you and get to see you and know you better and share your insight and your growth. And we're very appreciative of you.
Thank you.
And right before I let you go, I am going to make the pitch. We would love to have some momentary lapses of conformity from the office, even if it's just you trying to do the death screams, the metal death, whatever that thing was called.
I might pay you for that. Yeah.
I'll see what I can do without putting my vocal cords, but yeah, we'll put something together.
Maybe you can just overdub it. We could just
the pig squeal.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful weekend. Yeah. Thanks so much.
You.
Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you soon. And thanks, buddy. I appreciate you stepping in when things got tough. You had the mental toughness to step in and take charge.
Well, thankfully I was on the stream along with someone who had the same mindset, and we were just going to start talking, figure it out together until the frying pan sorted itself out. I
think we willed ourselves into that problem, though. Just like we were talking about during the show. It's like we kept saying before the show, "Oh, am I taking over today?" I'm like, "Yeah, I think you're going to take over," and then it just kind of happened. And that's what ended up happening, which is not right. So we have to have a mental preparedness. Now I forgot. Mental management program. There we go. Mental management program. All right. All right. Well, Joe, great to see you. You too, bud. Talking to you. Absolutely.
And,
Thank you, everybody, for being here and joining us today. And we'll see you next time from the frying pan.
And Ed, this one's for you, buddy.
Just when you think this show is terrible, something wonderful happens.
What?
It ends.